moving, so it's just getting used over and over again in the same area. It's just a shame. Now they've got night vision. Russia's got drones with night vision. I guess they didn't have that before, and now they're hitting stuff at night. Russia is. It's giving them a slight advantage. Giving them a bit of an advantage in the war, but I don't know. There's no one's really winning. I don't see anybody winning. I mean, maybe they know, the experts may know, yeah, Russia's winning or something like that, but from what I see, I get an update that has some detail, and anybody that's saying that Russia's winning, it's not really true. I mean, they're not winning, and Ukraine is not collapsing. There's a lot of people that say, oh, Ukraine's ready to collapse. No, they're not ready to collapse. They are having women fight and stuff like that. They're conserving on men, and so they're putting women and kids in places where they know they're dispensable, which is kind of a shame. But they got plenty of men. They got plenty of equipment. America's sending more over there. They're not running out. They're suffering, but they're not running out. The families are suffering. People are losing their families. But the war effort's doing just fine. I think they wanted to take over more, so they're not getting what they originally set out to do. They wanted to take Crimea, and they've only taken just a few areas that are really small. So they're not succeeding in that way. I think they were thinking they were going to get deep in, that they were going to go way in and take over, and it didn't happen. They lost a lot of equipment. They underestimated something there, but they're not. Russia's not taking over any more territory than what they had. The only thing they got was Bakhmut. That was kind of a big, that was sort of a big thing. They got Bakhmut. It's kind of a big city. Not sure how big it is, but it's a big city. This guy's getting tailgated. I wonder if he's going to pass him or is he going to tailgate him. Look at that. Okay, he's just passing him. And in Israel, they got a third of Israel. Israel's got a third of Gaza. Well, no, that's not true. Israel has destroyed a third of Gaza City. They destroyed a third of the buildings, which is bad. That's quite a bit of damage. And they've gone in there to try to rout the Hamas out, because they're based supposedly under the city, which is probably true. They were claiming that they were under the hospitals, and they have no evidence for that. I have no idea if they really were, but I wouldn't put it past the U.S. and Israel to lie about that, just so that they could have so that nobody would criticize them. Well, what's happening is they're seeing that how many people they've killed. I'm hearing 4,000 or something. I don't know if I have my numbers wrong, 3,000 or 4,000, and that's like children. I don't know if I have my numbers right, but it's a huge number. And these other countries are seeing that this is terrible. That they're seeing the same numbers, and they're saying, no, stop it. And Algeria has actually declared war on Israel, and I'm not sure what that means. They have a fairly good, I looked up they're over by Tunisia, and they have a fairly powerful military. You wouldn't really want, they're not just some little country that might shoot at you with a rifle. They've got some heavy duty equipment. They don't have what the U.S. has, but they got some stuff, and they're along the coast, so they can get access. They could go in there. They don't have an aircraft carrier, but they have everything else. I don't think they have nuclear weapons, but I don't think that would do them any good anyways. But they broke free of France, I don't know, 50 years ago or 70 years ago or something, I'm not sure when. And so they have their own military, and a lot of Africa is opposed to this. They're opposed to this war. They're opposed to the genocide in Gaza. And they're basically sanctioning Israel and opposing it. So you got Russia against it. You got all of Africa against it. India has criticized it in some way. I don't quite understand how India did. They didn't declare war on them or anything, but they don't like it. USA is the only one that's really for it, and then there's some European countries that are for it. Of course, they're the ones that are going to get the oil from Gaza, or the gas from Gaza. If they get Gaza, they'll get that gas, because they're in trouble. They don't get the Russian gas. They need some gas to heat their homes. And so Israel's going to go in there and get them their gas and sell it to them. Of course, that gas won't be developed for years, because it's not developed. I don't know what it takes to develop that. It'd probably take a while to develop it. But a lot of the world is not for this war. There's just a few countries that are for it. You could list them on one hand, maybe, the countries that are for it. I think even Japan's criticized it. Countries that you don't normally expect to criticize Israel, that have supported them in the past, which they never should have been supported from the beginning. People are waking up is what's happening. People are realizing, no, you shouldn't do that. I mean, back in the 1940s, that was genocide too. They just pushed people off their land. That's just as wrong as what they're doing today. It's just that today we see that it's wrong. They were doing the same kind of stuff back then. I mean, they fought wars before, and they did the same thing. And the West supported them, and they won, because people accepted it. They allowed it. And now they're saying no. So it kind of looks like, unless the U.S. can just overpower them, they're not going to have enough support in Israel for what they're doing. And you know, their defenses aren't strong enough to withstand Hamas and Hezbollah and any other. If other countries start going in there, they're finished. If Iran goes in there, or if some other country goes in there, they're not good. They're going to be laid to waste. I imagine they're scared over there. I used to have an Israel company too. I'm glad I don't have it. I mean, it happened so fast. I wonder what the stock. I can't remember the name of the company. I had it for years, and it was a good, you know, it performed pretty well. It gave me a dividend once a year, a really nice dividend once a year. I'm going to take 12. It's 12. It's 11:30.